The Activision Blizzard acquisition that Microsoft just announced has far-reaching implications for Nintendo and Sony. Nintendo won't be affected that much since the majority of people buy their systems for their exclusive games, but PlayStation will see a noticeable hit whenever Xbox rightly decides to stop releasing new Call of Duty titles alone on PlayStation platforms. Ideally, this will force Sony to stop being lazy and ignoring their dormant multiplayer IPs. One such experience is the Killzone franchise. While Killzone Shadowfall underperformed critically, it was still a financial success and saw the eventual addition of a co-op mode, showing that there were plans for the franchise beyond just the one game. But they've recently retired the website, and it looks like all hope is lost for Killzone. But even though the game was a disappointment in a lot of ways outside of pretty visuals, some changes made to the gameplay and story can make it feel a lot better and closer to being in line with what Killzone 2 and 3 were. In this video, I'm going to go over some of the changes that should be made for a potential next Killzone title. The first change that should be done involves the gameplay. The gameplay needs to feel more akin to Killzone 2 and 3. The gameplay in Killzone Shadowfall didn't feel right compared to the games that came before it. Even Killzone 1 by some extent felt more correct than playing Killzone Shadowfall. Killzone is known for having a weighty feel to it, but still being responsive enough to actually play the game. This was also made fun due to the hipfire being very accurate in certain situations. The reticle would shrink if you stayed still and crouched, and would give you close accuracy to almost as if you aimed down the sights, but with it being hipfire, it gave you a quicker way to actually accurately hurt the enemy or other players. This was done away with in Killzone Shadowfall, and unless you're 1 foot away from an enemy, if you hip fire, most of your shots will not hit the target, even if you have them right in the center. This is one thing that never felt right when I first played the game back in 2013, and it didn't feel right recently when I replayed it. This also made the bad FOV even more apparent in Killzone Shadowfall. The FOV was never that good in Killzone 2 and 3 either, but because of how the hipfire works and how you could be accurate with it, it wasn't that big of a problem. But with Killzone Shadowfall, you're pretty much forced to aim down sight if an enemy is more than a hair's length away. It doesn't feel right. The new gadgets in Killzone Shadowfall were a nice addition, however, but I think they should go back to putting the player in the shoes of an average soldier akin to Rico and Templar. That way we have more of a actual Killzone area for the gameplay and for the level design. More so like Killzone 2 and 3. The second thing they need to adjust is the level of detail and animation. In terms of overall attention to detail, Killzone Shadowfall felt like a step down in some ways compared to Killzone 2 and 3. There's a great video on YouTube that I'll leave a link for in the description. It's called Killzone 2 is Next Gen. It shows the amount of high-level animations and details in that world, just in that game alone, and some things you could miss if you didn't even pay attention to them. Some as immersive as seeing a soldier stagger or grab the certain part of their body that was just shot. Like for example, in the video they show a Hellgas getting shot in the shoulder during gameplay, and he staggers and grabs his shoulder. Imagine if you could do that on PS5, where they stagger if you grab their shoulder, their foot, their knee. Even in a game like Uncharted Drake's Fortune, which was a PS3 game back in 2007, if you shot an enemy in the foot, they would start hopping on the other foot as a reaction to the gunfire. We don't really see that much in games nowadays, so it would be nice for them to bring that back to Killzone. Obviously not the multiplayer, but for the campaign, if the game has one. With the right amount of love and budget, this is easily doable on PS5. I mean, it was done on PS3. Imagine a war zone where bullets are flying around you, and then you could say that there's a storm going on, and with dynamic environments and weather effects, similar to how Parcel Storm is in Battlefield 4, for example. All of this with Killzone 2 quality weapon animations, soldiers having specific animations as they react to gunfire and other hazards. That at 60 FPS on PS5 would be amazing. It would be next level immersion and something that would make the Killzone series stick out again like Killzone 2 did. And that's also what happened to me when I first played Killzone 2 back when it came out. I honestly just sat there sometimes in awe at how amazing the game looked, and then when I would play it and pull off awesome shots like headshots, it felt next level, and I'm still waiting for that kind of itch to be scratched again. And my third thing would be that they should do a reboot of the series so there's more freedom and they can start from a blank slate. The Killzone story and lore is actually really good on when you get behind the scenes and look more into it, I would say that Shadowfall was, again, a weak point though. The first game, and specifically 2 and 3, had a great sense of presence and dread within the games that was kind of unique at the time. It was almost like if you were to have a sci-fi version of Saving Private Ryan. That's how the game kind of felt, especially Killzone 2. But the ending of Killzone Shadowfall set up something that most of us don't really care about. Rebooting the series and making a reimagining of the first game, for example, can give the developers breathing room to make the new game they want without any drawbacks of it being a sequel. This could mean new characters or returning characters brought back in a faithful or even original way. This can also apply to the multiplayer. While I think the signature Warzone mode would actually stick out in the current Battle Royale environment, Killzone could do their own take on the Battle Royale mode if they want, but they should also include legacy multiplayer modes as well, at least the Warzone mode, because being able to switch objectives mid-game, and then it's just a matter of who reaches the top score first. That was actually kind of a fun concept back then, and I don't really see it that much now. So I think they should bring that back. I don't think the multiplayer should be free to play, however, but they could have skins and other cosmetic items only be purchasable with real money so they can keep the community engaged, along with possibly a battle pass that again rewards cosmetic rewards. No matter what PlayStation does, they won't be able to compete with Call of Duty, but they can make an effort to please the PlayStation community by bringing back some iconic multiplayer franchises like Twisted Metal, SOCOM, and of course, Killzone. And that's it for today's video. Let me know if you enjoyed it. Hit the like button, leave a comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. This is Red1 signing out.